those that do a really good job of diversity and get the best out of people and attract a broad, diverse range of talents to the table. That is why that is the way we feel about it. And the band, what? That is what we've been doing.
You don't feel that way if you forgot what you were feeling middle sentence, bitch. Problem. I don't fucking pause halfway and have to read my script when I tell y'all to get a long term. You know that, right? Or I'm telling you that we should lower the deficit and there's wrong thing. I really feel that. I'm not saying I feel. Wait, what do I feel again?
We'll just continue to do it.
Yeah, I feel. Oh, wait, what do I feel? I think I'm more sensitive.
Listening and diaries and Arbitron diaries and shit. People think a gold pencil and write it and listen to every day. It was all nuts, right? Not exactly. But we were getting beat up. I was getting beat up because I wasn't number one in Los Angeles. And Digit was like, baby, with the Taylor Sets. I want to know why you're not getting the ratings in Los Angeles, you know? And I took over Stern, you know, the time spent listening, it's like 38 minutes. And he said, you know, when it came out Stern, the average Stern listener, the one who enjoyed Stern, listened for 2 hours and 10 minutes a day. The people who hated Stern, listen for 3 hours a day. I said, maybe that's from the movie. That didn't happen. He goes, wait a minute. It's in a movie. It's not that if you don't like Stern, you don't listen to Stern all day. And he goes, that's what it is. And I said, no, it's from the movie. It's not what happened. But then I realized that's the perception. That's what he thinks. I already saw it in the movie. Sure. So it's totally counterintuitive to go, the people that hate Stern listen to him more than the people that love Stern. But it was in the movie. That's where he got it. Now it's reality. Now I'm having to come out. But yep, that's what you're talking about. That's what it is. I mean, I used to watch my tickets were selling. I was always like, I got control on the radio. I'm not selling. And they finally look at that's the reason my agent was like, it's great. He was like, look, the reason why that doesn't work is because the person gets behind and they funny. That's right. You get on stage for the performance. It's a show. So that's what the perception is. You think years ago, you don't sell tickets right now. He was like, well, it's always just say that you're saying sell it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the actual numbers of the perception is. It's going to sell splits. And then it's fine right now. And that's just what it is. He was like, there's a little bit of volume that has to happen for the joke. It just is. That's how sorry. You know, and it to me when I did American Break with it, we're just backstage and just slam down the back of the sentence. That's number one. Yeah, that's like fun. Yeah, that's not be number one. You can't see. And I realized, oh, he just did that in the country. Yeah, I felt story, but I felt good. Yeah, you're really number one. When you used to be number one, you're number one. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what I like. I know. So I know. It's like funny thing. What is really like? You know, send Israel to the corner. We bring Van Miller in here. We'll do some news. We'll think a little bit more of this. We'll do that with this. Hey, someone else does say, people, let's give her one. She's not going to forget. Take advantage of this brand new deal from Adam and Eve. AdamandEve.com/ace. That's where you go. That's AdamandEve.com/ace.
Regional's downtown on that. CI Flushing.
Best Valentine's Day ever. This is a limited time offer. So get your 4 sex toys while supplies last. 4 toys for $20. Literally saving $175 with this exclusive offer. Have a fun and rowdy Valentine's Day this year with my friends at Adam and Eve. Right, Dawson? Take a look at AdamandEve.com/ace. See what 4 sex toys will be yours for just $20. But AdamandEve.com/ace is the only way to do it. Now, let's start the business. Your own business, a small business, and grow it this year. Let's do this. Now, let's start. Shopify's going to
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
start your business. Shopify makes it simple. You rate your brand. Open for business and get your first sale. Get your store up and running. It's easy. And we've got thousands of customizable templates that can help you with all the details like shipping, taxes, payments, from one single dashboard, allowing you to focus on the important stuff like growing your business because you want to be freed up to grow your business, not burdened with the nickel and dime stuff. Shopify can do this. With Shopify, your first sale is closer than you think. It's Shopify, right, Dawson? Establish a 2025 as a nice rate to it. Doesn't sign for your $1 trial period at Shopify.com/roll up lowercase. Go to Shopify.com/roll. Start selling Shopify today. Shopify.com/roll.
Thank you, guys.
So, I can only imagine what would happen to him if he went to the pizzeria and asked for a plain slice of cheese. If this man's question from homosexual, God, what is the option? I could only imagine, I mean, plain slice of cheese. Oh my God! dudes whooping up on a chick and opening pool. They're like, no, man. All right, man, what do you got? Well, first up, this was just in an old and controversial statement. President Gustavo Petro argued that cocaine should be treated no worse than whiskey and should be sold like wine. He had the remarks made by Wednesday International Summit on Drug Policy had drawn widespread reaction from world leaders, health experts, and the public. Well, cocaine, when it's not stepped on with a bunch of fentanyl and a bunch of other shit, just in its kind of pure form, yeah, well, first off, if anyone's ever done good cocaine, you did it, right? Like you get, oh, this is why people love fucking cocaine. You know, let's see the point of it is genius without it. Yeah, and also, I can talk to Dr. Who about it, I will. There are a couple times later on tonight, so when we're watching this or not. But, he said to me in the past that, like, for instance, heroin doesn't really hurt your body when people hurt themselves injecting heroin.
Turn right on Orangewood Avenue.
It's better on your body than smoke. It's going to lose its bad for your body. Heroin is not as bad for your mouth. And cocaine maybe some of that. Like, if you just said, look, we're going to conduct an experiment. A couple of cocktails at night versus a couple of rails.
Just ahead, turn left on Rogers Street using the left lane.
Vice chair of vision is
At the end of 10 years, the guy just did the coke would probably be in better shape than the booze guy. And if we gave him like a Scrabble game to say, playing a Scrabble with him, or give a crossword puzzle and try to play with checkers, I bet the coke guy would fare better than the booze guy. Yeah. And with the coke, you can see it coming. Like you can see the original album.
SMCI is flushing, but it's the bottom right.
Because alcohol has figured it out, which is they figured out that there's different
Southern Copper sees outsourcing 900,000 tons in 26. Yeah, bro, Baba 52-week high. That's nuts. No, that's really nuts. It's what, that means you broke out from the October high. That's crazy. China Tech is literally in a bull market right now. Let's say next level 118 to 120. And you get above 126, that was kind of your breakout.
I'm telling you, I have a friend who worked on the TV show Miami Vice. He brought good Miami Coke back from Miami. He came back to LA and he gave it to me and I was like,
Very effective.
you know what? You should brand it now. Because I've said everyone, it used to be $120 a gram and I think $90 an ounce. Now I'm brand, it's $40 a gram. Like it's $40. That's not a barrier to entry. Experts raise concern to legalize and commercialize cocaine and could lead to increased addiction rates, health crises, and social issues. Also, significant public health.
Tariffs on the
Turn left on Gilbert Street using the left lane.
Canada says Trudeau.
Right, yeah, but the thing about the syndicates and the thing about like the thing about the groups, they are so
I talked to some Chinese people the other day about it. And they're like, look at right now.
Pot's legal now, human trafficking it is. Yeah, there's no right to human trafficking. And no one ever goes, well, we won't get experience. Let's go. They just start selling.
But at the end of the day, it's like,
tomorrow, and it's coming in from Mexico. That's how they do it. It doesn't matter who it is, but they'll do pot, they'll legalize pot, then they'll do coke, and they'll legalize coke, and then it's bad human trafficking. It's everybody doing everything. Just like stop human trafficking.
Turn left on Gilbert Street.
There's a reason why everybody's disconnected. Again, Chinese, bad, but
they make their money any way you can think of.
social distancing, that's why the assets have
They find the one thing that's decriminalized or then we want. They go right there. That's exactly what I'm surprised they're not going to law numbers. You get that's what you want. Probably good. You are the one I have seen video. My video shows Alaska Airlines flight attendant punching second man with their female passenger. I think let's just jump right in.
There was a headline this morning about the video. Negative comments. I imagine you guys look like these congressmen. I imagine congressmen.
Well, I know everybody Jeff says there's a lot going on in total macro. That's what Jeff, let's start off by diving into what's happening right now with these central banks. Everyone always talks about the Fed this, the Fed that, and we'll get into that in a moment. There's a lot going on outside the United States of America. So what's going on with the Chinese? What's going on with the Mexican central bank? I know there's Puerto Rico, Canada, India, Germany, UK, etc. I think there's certainly though from the American perspective, American audience, there's this idea that focus right now on finance. And anyway, so there's a lot of focus on that. But over time you get stuff out of that, making some people pay attention to the ECB. That's not good. The Europeans have been doing basically changes. They started with rates last year, sort of like, okay, going to their terms, rates are restrictive, and they want to be restrictive because then they might
In a quarter mile, turn right on Chapman Avenue using the right lane.
Let's get them off restrictive, get down to control very gently to make sure we've got the inflation stuff taken care of. We don't create too much weakness that it leads to a recession worse. Never mind the fact that we're in a recession. But that was the plan. And it started out, and it lasted maybe a month or two before they all started, oh, wait a minute, the macroeconomic conditions inside the system became not much far as inflation rates get a whole lot more to the downside. And really, I mean, it was almost one after another.
Turn right on Chapman Avenue.
I like this year too, bro. You like each of ours.
September, like, okay, we're going to have to cut everything.
since again.
Well, they still cut by 25 basis points. There's been an argument inside as well as outside the ECB. But they need to go to 50s. So they started every meeting and every That's the same kind of penalty. So I mentioned Mexico. Mexico's maybe the best example we're talking about here. They started cutting rates in March of last year. So it was long
In a quarter-mile drop-off on the right.
They started cutting in March of last year. But the economy was just fine. So price rates are coming down. So let's gradually lower. They're actually able to pause the price hikes. Then they get back up in August. And we might need to get the hike here. So for the next 5 weeks, they cut by 25 basis points. So this past week, they said, okay, now we need to go to 50. The reason why they said to go to 50 is because Mexico was negative GDP in the fourth quarter since the so essentially the Mexican economy was thought, but they thought was stable, so then you get inflation. Actually, the past this inflation looks like it's heading into recession, especially looking
Drop off on the right.
for tariffs. You can blame trade war uncertainty if you want to stretch it, but this stuff all predates Trump, all predates the whole economy control. And one way that you can tell them,
Oh, yeah, cases.
and the more that they start to panic, the worse they're seeing it, and they're seeing it, and it's very complicated. They're going the other direction. They're going the other direction because Japan was very late to the supply shock cycle, so they're still in the same cycle.
Keep it up, brother. Keep it up. Amen. The harvest is really for some of the peace, baby. We're not gonna get the other. That's amazing. We're talking about Wednesday with the teams.
She just voted against every single rate cut so far. Until this last meeting where she switched over to a rate cut. She earns a big amount of 50 basis points. So she went from ultra high to cut it all. Let's double it up here again. So you step back and look at all the separate pages. It's a natural, it's a progression. It's a really constant, consistent progression. Let's go carefully. Just move things down a little bit too. We're going to start accelerating the rates now so fast.
So the question then becomes, how long can the United States remain the probability there that we get past this model recession and on the other side, and we never have a soft landing or hard landing within the United States?
I think that's one of the biggest challenges here is to define what it is we're actually, what is the central bank's reaction to? What's the Fed reaction to? Are we really talking about recession that looks like a traditional recession? Because that may not be the case. Like last time we only talked about the short term. You asked me about the unemployment rate. I said the unemployment rate may not skyrocket here, maybe a little bit. Simply because the U.S. labor market, as well as the global labor market, is experiencing very unique conditions and circumstances. It doesn't look like a traditional recession. Even those in Europe, where this is definitely a recession, GDP's not growing more than 2 years ago. So until you don't get the sharp downturn, but if it just stops growing sideways for 2 years, it looks like a recession to me. That's what central bankers are responding to. It's not so much that the economy is just falling off the cliff. It's just utter devastation. It doesn't look like 2008, for example. Instead, what you're saying is they keep expecting this stagnation, but they're calling this a stagnation. So they keep expecting the stagnation to stop and recovery to start. What ends up happening is the stagnation just continues and continues. So their panic is about the fact that they don't see the economy restarting the growth. That's what they're really reacting to. So to take that and adopt it to the U.S. people, we're seeing the same kind of thing in the U.S. with the market certainly in different ways. You might blame all the time the labor market. The labor market is not crashing. It's not falling off a cliff. It's not robust. It's not good. It is way behind the recovery trend to be, and it's getting further behind. So even though you have payroll growth and expansion, it's nowhere near enough to make up the gap that the U.S. economy really needs to get into a recovery situation. So the Fed, because it's looking at the same statistics, but looking at them the wrong way, payrolls grew by 200,000 or 300,000 in December, they grew by 150 or so in January. That's not bad. There's no urgency for us to cut rates because it's not as negative and dire as it might appear to be. The comparison to much better than the U.S. economy than say Europe or Mexico or someplace else. So the Fed can stay on hold for a lot longer because it doesn't look like a traditional recession, where it looks a little bit more like one in these other places around the world. And the downside, the urgency to the downside looks a bit more immediate to say Mexico or Canada than it does to the Fed. So the Fed is, they don't have a 2008 scenario that gets them to really aggressively move in the same direction. That doesn't mean they're going to be able to stay on pause all the time. The pattern is showing is that you expect the economy to really start picking up and it doesn't. Then you expect it to pick up and it doesn't. They keep going down and it doesn't pick up and it doesn't pick up. And eventually they have to respond to that weakness.
We tried to think about it in terms of releasing the news from the interest rates. We talk about this all the time, but you go into negative swap spreads, which I'd like to go to in a moment, but just take the basis of the Treasury yield curve. I wonder if price action, you see the signals. We've got the indicative of what's happening outside the United States as opposed to what's happening inside of the United States, maybe the curve inflation is just because all these other economies were suffering from that, and it wasn't really an indication of growth and inflation expectations in the United States. Because you're really not the Treasury market, third market, it's basically a synchronized spot. So you'll see U.S. fundamentals reflected in U.S. Treasury, reflected with varying degrees in these individual bond markets. So you see, for example, you can line up Canadian bond yields with U.S. Treasury yields. They're almost exactly the same. They come down in the same way. And some really into differences. So you bank policy this time. It's the same total economic fundamentals, right? The bonds are with a little bit of different spin or through a different lens. So you're right, George, the U.S. Treasuries are not reflecting specific U.S. macroeconomic fundamentals because there is a view of the U.S. macroeconomy that's completely separated from everything else. What ends up happening is you're going to have global economic circumstances that play out in different ways and in different regions and in different degrees in different places, but the overall direction is the same. So if you see interest rates, the Treasury curve looks like the rates are going to be low and stay low. That's a reflection of global economic fundamentals that maybe the U.S. is comparatively better off. Right? So this dirty shirt argument, that's kind of what it says. That, okay, the overall global baseline is not good. Then what does that mean for specific regions within the global economy? The Treasury yields actually tell you. So you have to suggest that we didn't try to expose the currents happening in the United States. The
$100,000 per month when it needs to be growing at $400,000 or $500,000. So the comparison to make is okay, $200,000 that's pretty good. Now the comparison to make is even $500,000. Yeah, that's just perspective. Yeah, I agree with that. Because basically says it's not moving. Okay, like total recession, I think that's a distraction. This is a cycle that's going to get something other because of the 2008 style of emergence of the economy. It's not going to work. So that doesn't mean it's not creating real big problems, not just the economy. Because it's always something like 2008 or 2001 or something else. But I think it's one of the biggest problems that we have is, when you look at student growth study electoral time, so when you look at administration, they said no, we need to have job growth that gives companies looking at this jobs that will reclaim. It's the same fact is that we need to reclaim nearly enough jobs as the recovery demanded. So when our GDP is positive, now let's do things to be permanent economic circumstances. We're saying that all we need to and that's what central bankers are trying to do. They're trying to interpret all these traditional way. In fact, it's not really working. Politicians can try other places, they try to do the same thing, and they find themselves all in the leader of the country. So maybe the statistics don't look like 2008, but that doesn't mean that it's not in very bad shape. It's not bad shape. The statistics are right. We don't 3% GDP, 10%. We need 10% GDP for like a year and a half straight. Let's give us back on track. We need sales over 500,000 for a year just to have a prayer. We need most of the reprice to reach 3.1 basis. So it's not really conditioned and set up to look at the economy under these circumstances.
I understand. So I guess what do you think the probability would be of the United States, the actual numbers, the headline numbers, starting to look more like Europe? Because I also want to caution people, this time, maybe like a GDP recession, just because you have significant growth out of this, you have positive GDP, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not, the numbers thing are way out. Even if it starts to increase back then, during that cycle, it was starting 5%, basically, and that was different. But they paused in January. Back then, they were cutting aggressively in January. But the 10-year treasury from March to June, July 2008 went up 100 basis points. While the Fed was cutting dramatically. So just because that's happening now, again, it doesn't mean that we're in 2008, but it doesn't mean we're not in 2008. I also like to point out the CPI from December of 2007 went from there to 3%. You fast forward to July 2008, it was 5.6%.
Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning.
That's a 3-chip camera. Why does the broadcast world use exclusively? Alright, then 3-chip cameras. Today we're going to talk about it. Most of the things that you guys are using nowadays are single-chip cameras, full-frame APS-Cs for 3.5. They're all single-chip cameras. The broadcast world, the television world, up until now has always been using 3-chip cameras. And there's a reason for that. So that's a 3-chip camera. Well, a 3-chip camera is exactly like it sounds. It's a camera that has 3 chips. So once all 3 goes in, it actually goes onto 3 different chips. One is a dedicated chip that only captures the red information, the red channel. One captures only green, one captures only blue. So you get perfect color separation. The perfect color. And that's what these are called. And generally, the ones that they use, the professional ones, are all 3 times 230-inch, 3 different 230-inch chips. The benefit of that is they get perfect color, perfect skin tones. You turn it on, and they have perfect skin tones. The other benefit is quality. A lot of the stuff they do in the 6 o'clock news is green screen or blue screen. When you have a chip that's dedicated to only green or only blue, you get perfect separation from the foreground and the background because you have one chip dedicated to just green or blue. It gives you a perfect clean matte and it gives you perfect skin tones. And in the broadcast world, especially like the 6 o'clock news and stuff like that, there's no time to do color grading and logs and logs. So that's one thing that YouTubers like to do. Right on the camera, it's got to go right into the editing, and then it becomes done in like 5 seconds. They need perfect right on the camera. That's why they use these. All the high-end broadcast stuff that you've seen for the last 30 years, you know, the big quality is they're using 9 and 60 minutes and 6 o'clock news. This is what they're using 3-chip cameras. So again, the benefit of these is there's no time to mess around. You turn on the camera, push record, and you get perfect skin tones right on the camera, and you go right into the editing. They cut, you're done. And there's 100 million people watching the quick scan. You have perfect skin tones. When you have 100 million people watching the 6 o'clock news, you have perfect skin tones. So why don't they make 3-chip cameras for people like you? You know, you want the cheapest stuff possible, right? You don't want to pay a lot of money. These things are super expensive. It costs a lot more money to make 3-chip cameras than it does to make 1-chip cameras. And there's some other reasons too. Like you're
She's up all night to the sun.
Elon Musk said.
Yeah, he has no idea what Dodge. He's called it Dodge.
USAID.
I just, again, I have no idea what to tell
the
you.
consequences, even if they are dire. To me, the assault on this congressionally.
The other lady had to read how she felt.
Represents an attack on the.
I just don't think he knows what Doge really is.
And should outrage.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Every member of this body. Every member.
You think it has to do with auto tariffs, bro?
Now, and I know that your interest is squarely within your dual mandate and not foreign policy. I sit on both committees. I'm here, but I'm also the ranking member on the foreign policy
complete outrage, right? I don't
So
know.
I can't sit here today.
Boyle, that
Pretend
gas
what
coming
we're
down.
doing won't impact employment and economic stability right here in the United States of America. Weakening USAID will fuel global crises.
I was like, why are you telling me this?
American security.
He's gonna say not my job.
Embolden
And both.
other nations like China and Russia and leave us here in the Trump administration solely responsible for the fallout. So I have to take this opportunity to urge my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to also stand up for USAID. Anytime we travel, we go visit what they do. We go visit the good that they do. We go visit what their and how their economies improve.
Why do I feel
so
like
that
this
they
is a
can be
coded
part
message
of,
to take the money out the stash house?
No,
And we gonna visit every,
because
we gonna
just
visit
care
every
about
location
the world. And because
that we didn't visit for the last 20 years.
and recognize
I'm getting suspicious, sir. I get it, you're downright mad. You should have stopped there. You're giving way too much instruction.
interconnected world. Because the economy is interconnected world. We cannot isolate ourselves.
approximately a year ago or to now?
Well, but we are, the 10-year was yielding a very, very low. Yield on it was quite low during the pandemic, extremely low because, growth was slow. There was a lot of demand for treasuries. So we were pushing down rates to support economic activity. When you can't lower your policy rates anymore and you want to do more stimulus, that's really the main thing you can do. It's actually the forefather of that was Milton.
But then why weren't you guys worried about inflation?
With that thought way back.
When it went to 9, you said it was transitory.
But that's what we
the
did.
rates lower.
As I mentioned, we turned
you raised them
as soon
later.
as we lifted off and started raising rates. We immediately started shrinking the balance sheet, and we've shrunk it a lot, $2 trillion and still counting.
You have shrunk it $2 trillion?
Yes, we have.
Wow. And what do you believe remains, and you believe you're now stable for moving forward?
So I think we have a ways to go.
That was a nice way to ask about QT.
Reserves, which is the thing we're focused on, hasn't really changed. All of that has come out of what's called the overnight reverse repo facility. I'd be happy to spend some time with you on this. This stuff is very complicated.
Yes, I've tried to find...
Bro, I don't know if he's playing dumb, but he low snaked in a quantitative tightening question. And Powell kind of answered it.
What's a 3-chip camera, and why does the broadcast work? This one that has cinematone, gamma, and cinematone color. It outputs HDMI, has shutter speeds up to 1/10,000th of a second, so you can darken the exposure on a really bright day. It has 3 1/3-inch sensors, and record on a memory stick, dual cards, mini DV, or HDMI out to something like a Ninja for the highest quality. The sensors are positioned at 45 degrees, so you get clear, sharp, diagonal lines with no jaggies. And it shoots 1080, 24p, or 30p. Alright, and here we have the Panasonic HPX 170p. This is the most lightweight of the 3. It inherits many of the functions of the popular Vericam, which enhance the production of movies and television programs. It takes 32 gigabytes P2 flash memory cards, or you can record 422 externally via SDI to something like a Shogun. It has a 13-time zoom and 3 1/3-inch sensors with a 14-bit CCD signal processor. It does 24p and 30p. It has cine-like gamma curves and cine-like color matrix and optical image stabilization. Look at all the connections on the back of this thing. These two are 3 CMOS, and this is 3 CCD. This is an older technology CCD. The newer ones are CMOS. And actually, my favorite camcorder for the longest time was the Panasonic X900. That was a 3-chip CMOS camera also. I've used that thing for so many things. This was about 14 years ago. I did documentaries with it, interviews with it, and I always noticed how wonderful the colors were. It was so easy to dial in the colors, and they were rich and colorful and bold, and it just had a really nice look to it. It wasn't the sharpest camera, but the colors were so amazing. Matter of fact, I still have one in a box here. X900 in the box. But generally, 3-chip cameras are mainly used for broadcast official television stuff. And as always, I have too many cameras, so I am going to, drumroll, give these away. So I'm actually going to give away a Cine Alta camera. Yes, sir, Bob. I have 2 of these, but I'm going to keep one of them. I'm going to give away the Z5U, I'm going to give away the 170, and I'm going to give away an X900 also. That's at marcusbix.giveawayenter.com. Broadcast camera 3-chip giveaway. Now remember, these are only 1080, and they're used. I don't have the box, I don't have the fancy stuff that goes with it. It's just a straight camera. I think I got batteries for them. I might have a charge cable, but you get the camera, and you can have fun with them. This one here, it has a LCD screen that has a viewfinder that clicks down over it, so that's kind of interesting. It magnifies the LCD screen. Both of these have eyepieces too. Actually, they all do. Both the EX3 and the 170 have SDI out. The Z5U has HDMI out. And yes, the X900 also has HDMI out. If you have any other questions, do your research. I don't have time to answer all your questions about these cameras. Do your research before you pick the one you want. You should know how to use camcorders because there is a little bit of a learning curve to use things like this. These are a little bit more professional with all kinds of dials and knobs and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, so 3-chip camera is kind of an interesting subject. I thought I'd bring it up. And, the newer single-chip cameras, they are getting better with colors and skin tones. They're eking out as much as they can out of that single chip, but there is that limitation of not having the 3 separate channels of color. So that's where We had not come to LA. We got a contract in Union Square doing the public space Union Square, which is similar to Business Improvement District. Yep. So essentially what that means is that the businesses are funding services in their area to do clean and safe stuff.
Is this because cops aren't doing it?
No, it's more like, perfect example. So say you go into a shopping mall. Yeah. How many security guards do you see? Westfield.
Like Paul Blart kind of security?
Yeah, just in general. Like,
I don't know, I go to a lot of malls.
But shit tons, right? Yeah, exactly. So you go to a mall and there's just security everywhere. It's just kind of standard. You can go anywhere in the world, there's just security in the malls. And the reason for that is because, police are, one side of the security, the other side is cleaning. But anyway, going to the police side of
cleaning, like actual
physically cleaning. Sanitation, picking up trash. So the bid's paid to Clean and Safe, which funds both of these projects, making sure it's safe and clean. So when you think of safe and clean, and you take law enforcement into consideration on this, yes, these are public spaces, but there's a bunch of private businesses funding this thing. So it's kind of like the next level of engagement that you don't really get from law enforcement. And to be frank, you don't really want your guys that are making, $150,000 a year. Like, how much does it cost to train a cop? I mean, $100,000, whatever it is.
Hundreds of thousands per cop.
Yeah, per cop. They go through an academy, they're getting paid for that stuff. In most jurisdictions, sometimes they pay on their own. Then they go through field training, they get equipment, and there's a lot of money involved. And they're limited resources. Let's just be honest, how many cops are working in an area.
So I visit, at any given moment in the city of Los Angeles, over at night shift, there's only 20 squad cars.
That's probably, I don't know the number here, but probably,
That's insane to me.
Yeah, like they call it a thin blue line for a reason, right? It's just like the amount of officers out there per capita for the LA's
a city of millions of people, and there's 20 cars. No wonder it takes fucking forever if you call it a
well, and if you imagine dealing with a public space, for example, this is my point to this, because even during the day, say there's 100 cars on the road. Is that really enough? No, considering the amount of crimes and things that we have going on, and the laws that are in place. So anyway, you have this public space, and you have 1 million tourists a week. I don't know how many coming through Promenade or downtown San Francisco. The amount of calls for service in an area like that, I can only imagine what that is for Santa Monica or San Francisco. I used to work in the Tenderloin area. We actually had our beat now that we do security, and that was part of my idea as a cop at one point. And the call volume was a Tenderloin like then compared to what it's like now. Tenderloin has not changed in 30 years probably. So that's kind of the thing. So
just sort of like leather bars.
Yeah, it's just one of those places that it's kind of been the epicenter of
some of the problems that we see all over the place now, and it's been like that there for a really long time. So you see the videos and look at San Francisco, it's like, hey, San Francisco's been like this for fucking decades. Has it really? Yeah, I mean, there's been homelessness and crime and all the progressive policies, they all come from there. So yeah, I'm not prosecuting stuff, all that stuff started there.
So you bring up these progressive policies because, like, for a while in Hollywood specifically, there was like this big sort of like, let's defund the police. Like,
Brilliant idea. I love it because it's great for my business.
right, I imagine. And now all these businesses are like, fuck, we're not getting this service for free. Now we have to pay Joe to do it. So what were sort of, because you were already out of law enforcement by the time defund the police was becoming a thing, like long out, you already had your security company, so it was actually probably good for your business.
Yeah.
But you're still walking the same streets that the cops are walking, and now you're walking as sort of two minds, right? You're walking of the mind of, I remember doing this as a cop, and now I'm doing it as a private security guy.
Yeah.
What in your opinion, did defund the police do? And I'm not asking you to speak for anybody, but like, what do you think they were trying to do? And then what do you think the actual ramifications of the whole defund the police campaign were?
Well, I think one of the unfortunate things in our government is the police have often been a pawn for policy stuff, right? So what they do is we saw in the 60s, right? Government makes policies, they do stuff. Yeah, police are protesting, then they throw cops in the middle of it. Yeah, and they go, oh, these horrible cops doing horrible things, right? When you look at like how the police chief, for example, it's a appointed position by the mayor. Yeah. So he can fire the police chief anytime. Okay. So the mayor is, the police chief is a political pawn, but essentially the mayor. Also, the board of supervisors, or whatever they call themselves in San Francisco, they're the ones who approve budgets. They're the ones who approve policy. They're the ones who say yes to everything and everything. All the stuff that we write goes to them. Yeah. So when everybody's like, oh, look at these horrible police, even the politicians, look at these horrible police, let's defund the police. Who created the policy? The chief of police. The police department's a representative of the government. It's not like, oh, the government's over here and the police department's some other thing. They're one and the same thing. So there's always a smoke screen like, oh, look at the cops, and it just takes away from the shitty stuff the government is doing. Yeah. You can't point your fingers at law enforcement and say how screwed up it is without going up or chain of command. Like, who's really screwed up? If you got screwed up law enforcement, who's the problem? Is it law enforcement, or is it something much bigger than that?
Yeah, I guess that's really interesting because for me, like, there always felt like a delineation between politicians.
Well, they try to do that because they can't use it. They can't
It's like a cover your ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pawn, right? Like I can do whatever the hell I want as a government, and then create some kind of problem with the police department,
right?
And then everybody's gonna pay attention.
Like, look at those guys.
Like, oh, look, yeah. We saw the Black Lives Matter things, right? It's like, oh, look at these cops, and these guys are all passing all kinds of crazy policies. They're all lining their pockets with money. They don't follow any of the same rules. We catch them not following the rules all the time. Politicians.
Have you ever caught a politician like drunk driving or anything like that?
Personally, no. I mean, I've seen them do stuff. I mean, I've been involved in situations where they're making poor choices.
Like what?
What do you mean? Okay, so one of the things that they were doing in San Francisco, at one point I got an injury. I got a shoulder injury, so I had surgery. So they stuck me in an office for like months while I recovered. It's fucking horrible, by the way. Yeah, God, it's worse. Anyway, so I got sent to technology. The technology unit, which makes no sense. Is that like oxymoron? Like the technology department of a police department? It's like, this is a printer. It runs on MS-DOS. Well, that's what happens for me when I go there, because I'm like, what are all these things? Where's the guns? Is there a radio somewhere? What is this machine? What am I supposed to do with this? Joe, that's a computer. No, but what are you doing with it? The files are in the computer. No, but how do you get them out? So yeah, they send me the technology. Makes no sense to me. I'm no fun
because you look like such a tech guy.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm in technology, and what they were doing is like, all these people, I mean, there's so much stuff in San Francisco, I can't even begin to describe the problems there and the crime and the internal issues with the government there. It's ridiculous. So what they were doing is they were hiring all these people for Department of Transportation, or DPT, right? So they're big issuing citations and meter maids. Yeah, I say that on camera, people probably get upset. I'm fine with it. Meter maids. I'll let it. So I mean, I don't know if these are words that I'm supposed to use anymore.
Can you not say meter maid?
I don't know if you can say the word maid anymore. Is that like an archaic?
A meter person.
Yeah. Right. I don't know.
Hey, bro, I've already been canceled. Like, if you want to say whatever you want,
yeah, definitely gonna cancel me.
I got double jeopardy. You can't cancel me.
Yeah, you can re-cancel you. Yes. Nobody cares what I say. So anyway, there's meter maids, and what they were doing is they were hiring these meter maids, and you're supposed to go through a background because you have access to people's license plate information. And sure, it's class system or whatever the system is specifically for the DMV system. Yeah. And they had access to some other systems as well. And they're on the radio, right? So there's communication about private personal information going back and forth on the radio.
It's like, so like when the cops pull you over, they're like, yeah, his last name is Charlie Hector, and they're like saying that they can hear all that too.
No, but they have their own internal radio communication. They're talking about licenses. Yes. Okay, they run your plate. It's your address. It's your name. Right? I mean, they know all the information. I'm fucking putting it down on a ticket.
Yeah,
right. So they have access to this stuff.
So all that has to go through like a dispatch. It's not just like a computer.
Well, it's probably more techy now. I mean, back in those days, a lot of it was mismatch. Yeah, it's like a pigeon.
We got Morse code. That's what we're looking for.
So back then it was less sophisticated, but it was there's still communication. They still have access to personal data. Yeah, that's
so they're hiring meter maids.
So they're hiring meter maids. You can't have a criminal record. There has to be a certain level of background investigation on these people. So we would get the guy that was inputting all these new employees. I was at a desk with him. He'd been there a really long time. And there was a chief, like a deputy chief of police who worked for Department of Parking and Traffic. Like, he ran that division. And the city people were like trying to hire a bunch of people, and they were pushing it through. So we would get packets in that were not completed. They didn't do background on this stuff yet. So one time I was in there, and this guy comes in delivering one of the packets from the DPT guys at Department of Parking and Traffic. And he's like, hey, this guy's name is Henry Shishmi. I think he's passed away since, so I can say it. I can say it now. He's no longer alive. So they would give him this stuff, and he's like, hey, there's no background on this person. He's like, look, man, like, we need a background. Just get it done. He's like, dude, it's a misdemeanor.